Hey, welcome back everybody. In this video, we'll be learning CRUD operation in Firebase real-time database. We'll be making this simple application where we'll be doing all the CRUD operations. So it is not quite exciting one, but it will definitely help you to learn the create, read, update and delete operations. So for those who don't know what Firebase is, it is just set of tools which help us to develop cool web apps, mobile apps, but we are using the database feature of Firebase in this video. So this is a Vue project and we are storing movies to watch, list of movies in our database. So let's let's add something like to. It will instantly get there, and if we refresh, it still persists. There we go. We can even delete, we can edit Star Wars 2. There we go. So all this gets saved on our database. So you can see in database, like, so here you can see all list of movies. So we'll learn how to do all of this. Okay, let's start by creating a new Vue project. So if you don't have Vue CLI, you can install that by npm install -g Vue CLI. Okay, once that is done, you can create a new Vue project by Vue init webpack. And name of your project, I'll give Fire Vue. It will download this webpack template. You can give a name. I will accept that, and it's all right. Install Vue router, no. So you can do yourself, or you can just use npm to install all of the dependencies. So hit enter and it will install all those dependencies. Okay, once all dependencies are installed, you can cd into the project, and then you have to run npm run dev to start the project. You need to cd into Fire Vue and then run npm run dev. Okay, so your project will be up and running at this location. Okay, so in another tab we'll open it in VS Code dot. Okay, so let's open this side by side. Okay, so this is our project and we have all our code inside source folder and app. So this is the entry point, and here we are loading. So hello world is the template which is loading all this, and nothing else. So let's go to that component hello world and just remove this extra bit of code. Okay, so let's create a form in input field, text input field, to input the movie name, and I will give it name vmodel movie. Okay, then we need to create a name movie, and we'll also create movies, which will have all the movies, and just below here we'll show all those movies. For now, just give some dummy movie name, just dummy data, and then we'll loop through each. So we need to pass key. You can pass key like so. List item is inline block, we can just remove that, and yeah. So this is our basic setup. So if you want to import a bootstrap, you can do that. I will just include in index.html up in head section. Okay, so now we have the create input field. So when someone hits enter, we will key up dot enter. So we'll add movie to the list. So add movie. So for now we are just doing it in array, and later we'll use Firebase. So I hope that will make it easier to understand. So add movie, let's create that method, add movie, and what we'll do is we'll push that to movies for array, push this dot movie. So as we type, it will have the movie will have value, and we'll push that to this array when someone hits enter. Let's try Star Wars. There we go. Okay, so now we have the basic setup. Okay, now we have Vue project setup. Now we'll integrate Firebase into the application. So in order to integrate Firebase, you need to go to console.firebase.google.com. So we'll add new project. We'll name it like YouTube Fire Test. Okay, so you can give whatever name you want. I'll create project. Okay, continue, and it will take us to our dashboard. So first thing we'll need is our web app is in place, and we need to integrate it. So if you click here, you'll get all the credentials, so your app key, or domain, and everything you need. So in order to put that, first we need to install the Firebase SDK for JavaScript. You can include like this, but we'll use npm. So let's open up terminal, and okay, so now let's install Firebase SDK. So npm install Firebase. So you can use, I think, Vue 1 package, but I will use the Firebase SDK provided by Google. Okay, so it is installed, and now we need to copy our credentials. So you can copy all of this, and let's go to our main.js from where all of this is loading. First we need to import Firebase. Import Firebase from Firebase. We just installed it, and then what we can do is we can paste that. So it is our config, and we are initializing all of this config to our Firebase SDK. Okay, so you can put this in your environment variable or in other file. For now we are just doing like this. Later we'll improve this application. Okay, now our Firebase setup part is also complete. Now let's start doing some CRUD operation. Okay, if you see your database, currently there should be no data. So get started. Okay, so currently there is nothing, null. Okay, so let's start by creating or posting some data to database. So when someone hits add movie, we are just pushing it to this movies array. So now we will use database, so we'll just empty this out, and instead what we'll do is we will post that request. So we'll use Firebase SDK. So for that we need to import that. You can do a couple of things. You can import it here, or you can assign Firebase to Windows object. Window.firebase equals to Firebase. Okay, so now here what we can do is let's collapse the sidebar. So what we can do is Firebase, then we'll have to access the database. and then a ref. So this is the reference to the database. So the ref method will help us to create reference. So what we'll do is, so it is just like a table name, although it is not a table, so it is quite different in structure. But so since this data is real time, it shouldn't have any this reference. So currently there is no reference, but we are creating this on real time. So you can give whatever name you want. So movies, you'll see in a moment. And what we'll do is we'll push the data to this reference, and that will be the object. So we'll construct object like name or name of movie, whatever you want. So it shouldn't be, have to be just name. You can give name of movies. So we'll go with name, and the name will be this dot movie. All right, so this movie, and we'll be pushing that. And what we'll do is we'll so it will return us promise, like if this is successful then data. So for now we'll just console log results, and if there is error we'll catch that as well. Okay, so when someone enters name of movie and hit enter, it will call this add movie. And so in add movies we are just pushing this name, movie name, to this reference in database. Okay, so let's see that in action. Okay, currently there is nothing. Let's open the console and let's add movie 1. Okay, so we got this permission denied because currently we are not using any authentication in Firebase to authenticate user. So we'll cover authentication in later video. So for now we'll just focus on CRUD operation. So in order to tackle that, what we have to do is we have to disable this authentication or this permission. So the way you do is go to rules. So currently it requires auth, but we'll just make it true for both, and publish. Sorry. Okay, your rules are defined as public, anyone can read or write. Okay, we are okay with that. So now let's try once more. Alright, so we are getting the data reference to database. So let's check in our database. Okay, there we go. So this is the movies reference which we passed this, and inside there we have the key, unique key that Firebase standards, and this JSON object, name and name of movie. Okay, so this is the create part, and now we need to display the data. So read part. So currently we are not seeing any movies because we are not fetching it from database. So we'll fetch all movies when this component is created. So let's listen for created hook. So when this component is created, we'll fetch data firebase dot database dot ref, and we need to tell from where we want to fetch data. So at this, from this reference, and on value. So this is the event. On value event we will fetch data. So we'll make arrow function snapshot or data, whatever name you want to give. So it will just return the data. So this is the way the Firebase returns works. So it works on event. So on value event it will return all the values at this reference. So so all values of this reference is inside the snapshot. So the way we access it is like, let's console log that. So snapshot dot val. So it will display all the values, I guess. Let's check. Yeah, there you go. So we got object. So now what we'll do is we'll assign this to our movies. So this dot movies equals to snapshot dot val. So it will assign to this movies. And let's make it empty object. Okay, there you can see. So instead of showing whole movie name object, we can just display name. There we go. So it is saying we do not have some problem with key. So this is object. So the way we put key is like this. So movie name and v4 and index or key, and we'll use that key. So the key will be I think key provided by the Firebase. So this key, which will be unique. Let's refresh to clear all the errors. Okay, so now it's time to update these data. So in order to do that, I will put the edit button just side by this name. Okay, so I've made my some CSS change and I've added this edit button. So when someone hits on edit button, we will trigger will display the form. Okay, so just below this edit button I've added this input field. Okay, so now I'll name it field model edit form, and then we need to create that data field as well. Edit form, make it array for now. Okay, so we have form, but as you can see, if we type it will have value on all three. So the solution for that is, so we need to make it unique. So we are looping through each movie. So edit form, we can make it unique by using key. So now it will reference to the key in this array. So now if we type, yeah, it is only showing here. Okay, so now what we'll do is when someone hits enter like this, enter, and then we'll edit this. So when someone hits key up, and then we have to pass the key. So the key, this is the database key, and let's create this edit movie method just below here. Okay, so in order to edit, we have to first, as always, reference the database. So this time what we'll do is movies, and then so it will access like a URL. So URL structure movies slash, and it will go inside movies folder. So imagine it like a folder. So movies slash goes inside folder, and then we have to reference the key which we want to edit. So in this case we are editing the key provided by here, so which we'll get from this form, and we need to use a set method to change any field. So currently we have just name, so I will make the name. So we need to get that value also. Currently we are not passing any values. Okay, we are passing. So edit form key. So we need to access the edit form. So it is array, and we need to access the key. Alright, so I think it should work. Let's try. I'll update it. Thor. Let's hit enter. Yeah, there we go. Updated Thor. So now this is the edit part. Now let's handle the delete part. So I will make a new button. Just duplicate this and name it delete. when someone clicks on this delete, we'll call, and then we have to pass the key, and we need to create another method. I'll just duplicate that and rename that, and ref, and instead of set and everything, we need to just call remove. So let's check. There we go. So let's refresh. Yeah. Okay, this is all about CRUD in Firebase real-time database. So hope it helped you to get you started with Vue.js and Firebase. So if you find this helpful, give thumbs up, subscribe, and share it to your friends. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.